Dan, 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 dan. Captain Balls. Woo!
Yeah.
Nice job, nice job.
That was awesome.
You looked like you were doing something. I was worried you were going to be distracted.
No way. I was just making sure it wasn't too far over for the door, so in case if the door opened.
What about the naked guy who just walked by? Man,
Well, the naked guy, people pay extra for that, so
that's true.
I can cut and paste that.
Nice. Speaking of naked guys, hey everybody! Welcome back to
Yes.
another episode of the Kilted Balls podcast. So excited to have you back. And
Heck yeah.
I bet we have fun, interesting things today. We'll see. We'll see. But welcome.
Usually that's a good bet.
It's always a good bet. So what are you drinking? I saw the big coffee mug.
It's my Mudwater matcha.
Ooh, nice. I am drinking
So-
Coke Zero.
Oh, nice. All the poison, twice the caffeine.
That's right. My daughter went to go. I'm like, hey, when we were on vacation, I'm like, I want something for mixing. Get me some pops. And she's like, what do you want? I'm like, well, get some like Cokes and something else. And she's like, okay. And then she like walked in. And I'm like, why would you get that? And she's like, I got you Coke. I'm like, it's Coke Zero.
I can't imagine it mixes the same.
It does not. It tasted awful. But here's the weird part. I was really sad because I had a friend who, when I first met them, drank Diet Coke, which I drink Diet Coke as well. And then they switched to Coke Zero, and I was like, hey, you start drinking Coke Zero. And they're like, oh my gosh, I love it. It tastes just like Coke. And I'm like, yeah, I've heard that game before. And they're like, no, try it. And I'm like, no, I'm not trying it. So I didn't try it. And then I had that drink and it was awful, but it was sitting there and I needed a drink like later on. And so I opened a can and drank it. And I wouldn't say it's like Coke. My wife says it's like fountain Coke.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
You know, not McDonald's. McDonald's is high quality.
Yeah, that's a whole different. You don't even rank them in the
No.
Coke competition.
No, they're just auto. I forget somebody recently I was talking to, and they're like, "Well, clearly McDonald's." I'm like, "Yes, right." I'm like, they've done so much research to make sure they're the best, and they are. But but like this was the first time she had done it. It was right before we recorded. I'm like, "Try this. Tell me what you think." And she's like, "It." Honestly, she goes, "I can tell it's not Coke," and I'm like, "Right?" She goes, but if you gave me it over ice and told me you got it from Burger King, I would believe you.
See, there you go.
And I'm like, whereas Diet Coke, you always know, right?
So is it one of those things? Here's the interesting question, because I had a slight journey with the Beyond Burger, and I think you're still do that sometimes. I don't do it at all. But there was a time where I was trying it and trying different things, and I was by every time I went to White Castle, I would get it.
Oh yeah.
The Beyond Burger at White Castle was decent, so I was like, yeah. But one day, because this was in up in Indianapolis, I think it might have been at the Christmas show, either the Christmas show or the home show. I used to be up there all the time. Anyway, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get both. I'm gonna get some real sliders, and I'm gonna get a couple. Because I was just extra hungry and I was willing to take that chance of my 4 rule. So I ended up getting six sliders.
Okay.
So I ate a Beyond Burger and it was just as yummy as always.
Sure.
I ate a normal White Castle, which was amazing. Then I ate another Beyond Burger White Castle and it was the worst thing I ever had. So I wonder if you took a sip of that and then you took a sip of actual Coke right after, if you'd still have the same feelings.
Yeah, maybe. And the funny thing is when you mix it, you could tell.
Okay.
You could tell.
There was a big difference when you mixed it.
Huge difference when you mixed it. You could taste all the poisons, right?
Okay. Well, yeah, I get if there's even a little bit of aspartame, I can usually pick up on it. So
anything like sucralose, like I remember once I was with my girls and I got a Faygo and I was like, oh no, and they're like, what? I'm like, well, it has artificial sugar. And they're like, it does not. And they tried it. They're like, it does not. I'm like, let's look at the label. And I'm like, oh, look, it's like one of the last 3 ingredients. They're like, how can you pick that out? And I'm like, I can. Some people, you know, it's like, there's a few different things that taste super bitter to some people. Not me.
Like cilantro. Like
Yeah.
cilantro is one of those things.
And my
Tastes
brother
different.
has one of them. It's one of the food dyes. Like it tastes awful to him. And like if it's
Okay.
like frosting on a cake and it has that food dye, like it's horrible to him.
Oh wow.
So
Actually, interesting because we talk about dyes on here a lot. My friend Kathy, Willie and Kathy, she had just made a post. I didn't realize their little guy throws up if he has red dye 40.
there you go.
So she had made a post that the blue gummy sharks with the white bottoms
Yeah.
at Walmart don't have the red dyes in them. So he loves those because he wants gummy things. But yeah, but I didn't realize that it was that extreme for them.
People are different, right?
Hmm.
But that being said, I've done the same thing at White Castle and I did not have the same
Really,
response.
you've tried both? Okay.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, most of the time when I went to White Castle, I never got just like one. Like
Yeah.
I got like two or three of the Impossibles and two or three of the others.
Okay.
So I've mixed and
Huh.
matched them all along.
Yeah. When I did, it was a bad experience.
Oh no.
Still scarred to this day, and I think that was the last time I had any fake meat,
Oh no.
if I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
My girls will often, if we go to like Burger King and get Whoppers, they'll often order the
Yeah.
Impossible Whopper.
Hmm.
So that's like they like it most of the times better than the normal. Now, the last time I ordered one from Burger King, it was not as good as when I'd had it before.
Okay.
So
So it's just one of those things.
it was drier. Like I think they had overcooked it, which can
Yeah.
happen with beef too, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So
Trying
either
to.
way,
I put a lampshade on my lamp that I rigged up in my thing. I was hoping it would get rid of this,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it does not. So
Oh my gosh!
oh
So
well.
I had a crazy experience that I wanted
Oh,
to share
awesome.
too. So, listeners, this may be super sick or it may be amazing. So, you'll have to let me
Okay.
know
I'm excited.
your thoughts, people, on whether it's amazing or super bad. Um,
Oh.
right. So, we all know I got sunburned. So, and
Hmm.
if you're like, what? I didn't know you got sunburned. It was on one of our episodes. So,
Mm-hmm.
I showed everybody we got sunburned, right? And my wife was like really good. She put like lotion on it a couple times to make sure it wouldn't like.
Oh, she rubbed the lotion on its
She
skin.
did. I thought it the whole time. I'm like, well, she puts the lotion on the skin. I'm like, perfect. But and like I had said before, it wasn't like it was bad enough that like it was still red recently,
Yeah.
but not bad enough that I was like, oh my gosh, I can't sleep with this, right? Like,
Yeah.
but I had one of my workouts yesterday, and so I
Hmm.
went for a run, and I'm like just sweating and everything else. And it had already started to itch before this, and I like brought up that it was itching, and it was
Yeah.
just bug bites. And so I get done with the run, and it's itching again. And I'm like, man, what is up with this? Like, are they bug bites? And it was like in the middle of my back, and so I was like reaching like this, and I'm
Hmm.
like, it's weird. It's like
Mm-hmm.
almost like blisters or something. And my daughter, when she had looked at it the day before, was like, hey, it's starting to get ready to peel. Like it's starting to peel.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, good. But so then I'm like, oh my gosh, I know what happened. And so when I got home, I'm like, went to my wife and I'm like, look at this. And she's like, what happened? You're like covered with blisters. I'm like, those aren't blisters. I go, the sweat couldn't get through the dead layer of skin.
I knew where that was going. I still wanted to hear it.
I've never seen or heard that happen before.
That's
And
awesome. I'm not familiar. I've never had that happen
no,
either.
never. And she's like, no, it can't be. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, push one of them. And she like pushed it, and it popped just like you'd expect it to pop. And she's like, oh my gosh. She's like, it really is. I'm like, it's just the sweat is like, it couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah,
Like,
I was concerned like you'd pop a bunch of them in the car. You didn't pop a bunch in the car when you sat
I
down?
might have popped a bunch like right here in the middle when I reached because
Uh-huh.
I'm like, yeah, you won't see any in the middle because I think I popped all those. But then she's like, you got to show our daughter. So our daughter's big into health stuff. And like
Hmm.
just the week before, she was like, oh my gosh, I got to play with a uterus today and 2 feet and a couple fingers. And I'm like, really? And she's like, yeah, they were like getting rid of them. And so they asked if I wanted to play with them. And so I did. They were the coolest things. So I like go in the
Mhm.
room. I'm like, hey, you need to look at my back. She's like, no, it's gross. I'm like, it's not gross. Like the sweat is like filling up, like there are bubbles and stuff. She's like, no. And she told Amy like today, she's like, that's like the grossest thing. And we're like, you play with like people's like hearts and stuff. How can you think this is gross?
That's hilarious that she thinks that's gross.
Right. Well, and that I thought that was the end of it. Like I took a back scrubber to it because I'm like,
Yeah.
it's itchy. But I almost used my mat. Like I've got
Oh,
a
there you
new
go.
acupuncture mat, and she's like,
Mhm.
"Go lay on the mat." I'm like, "I'm not doing that because then it's gonna get covered with that."
Yeah, you have to spray it off. Actually, Gina wants one of those mats. She said it really, really helped her feet.
Did it? Well, and Cal
Yeah, she
took
said
like
it
a
was
dog
amazing.
bone that is similar to the mat, and he like took it and rubbed it on my shoulder. I'm like, "Don't do that." And he's like, "Look, it popped them all." I'm like, "Yeah, but now it's got whatever bacteria was on that dog toy, like in there." So I didn't really want to do that to the mat or anything. So
Yeah.
yeah, but the weird thing is then Cal and I had wrestling practice today, and when I got home, I was like, oh, one of the sides is that way again. Like I can feel it here, and I'm like, oh, it's all like swollen up again. So
That's awesome.
I
It's a
know
good reason to get sunburned so you get to experience
I'd
that.
never gotten to like we're
Hmm.
getting pretty old now, and so having a new
Yeah.
experience like that is crazy for me.
I'd say that's a great story.
Well, there you go, listeners. So you can fill your dead skin with sweat, apparently. I guess I don't know.
Hmm.
It's not blisters.
Yeah, you got to wait just the correct amount of time for it to go through.
Right? I'm like,
That's
that's
awesome.
crazy. So, yep.
That's super awesome.
Yeah, so what stories from you? First off, you are, what did my wife say today? That you are like an old man.
Am I?
Because you don't know what day of the week it is anymore. You don't know your times. You're like, oh, living life. Is it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? I don't know. Like, the only thing
It's
you
funny.
can tell is that you went to the Asian food on Sunday, and so you know when Sunday is, but then it's all past.
So it's hilarious because I even told Gina that. I was like, there was like 3 other times I went to write you, and I was like, it's only Tuesday. So I like go do whatever, and then I was writing some other messages, and I was like, oh, I need to write the guys and find out if we're playing tonight. So I didn't get myself enough time to talk myself out of it.
That's so funny.
That's hilarious. Yeah, it was at least 3 or 4 times before that I was like, oh, I need to write the guys. And I'm like, oh, it's Tuesday.
It's
I don't need
Tuesday.
to write them. But I talked myself into it. I was dead set on writing you and asking.
Well, and then you asked
was-
about the time again. I'm like, I don't
No,
even get home
you're the
until
one-
like 8 o'clock.
You're the one who said 7:30 the one time because I said 8 and you said it was 7:30.
Nope. You had said
So-
9, and I had said like 8:30.
We know moving forward it's 8.
Let's say.
So
I went back through my text messages to check.
nah.
It is you every time saying 7:30. Because I'm not home most of the time by 7:30.
Maybe it could be. I don't know why I got caught on 7:30. That's wild. That's funny.
I'm like, all of our activities are like 8:30, or 9. Like they're all in that
Mhm.
golden hour.
So anyone who caught our special episode talking about AI and helping people get set up with prompts, and actually, I was talking to Nova. I think I'm going to do that on my own a little bit too to help people, and I'm debating if I should do it during my Whatnot while I'm selling sheets, which I sold another set of sheets on Whatnot today,
Nice
so I'm super
job.
excited about that. Especially because I haven't been on there in a while, but yeah, just kind of tossing some ideas around. And a friend of ours shared an article,
Mm-hmm.
and it's my personality. Whenever there something like this, or I can relate it to crypto a lot, or anything that's gonna help a big majority of people get out of their situation. And when I see negative news about it, I usually just blow it off. Like it's the man trying to get their part of the pie back is how I look at it roughly,
Sure.
basically.
Yeah.
So I went through and I read that whole article and I was like, that's interesting. I could kind of see some of it because it was talking about people using AI and being extra psychotic and having things, which I guess a certain percentage as a side effect or whatever, it could happen too. But
Yeah,
I
for sure.
just kind of blew it. Like for an article like that, I was just like, whatever. But I was talking to a friend today, and they have a doctor friend because they had listened to the episode, and they were like, it's funny because my friend this weekend is a doctor down in Detroit, and they were talking about that's a problem, that they have people coming in, and it's like in their doctor meetings, like, what are we going to do about this? Where people, well, I guess what they're doing is that they're feeling like far superior, and they're coming in and they're manic already, whatever, and they're coming in and they think that they're a lot worse, but it's more of a, oh, I'm better than everybody else sort of thing that they're getting from the AI because they're too pumped up. They don't have the valve. So I just thought it was interesting because it did go along with that article, and there, something, I guess with anything, especially like this, there's going to be a certain number of people who it's not going to be totally positive for because they may not have the mental capacity to step aside from it. But I thought it was super interesting.
Yeah, well, and the interesting part for me is when I read the article from our friend,
Mm-hmm.
I did not view it that way, right? Which is not my MO is to read everything skeptically, and that's just how I was
Yeah.
raised. But so I read the article and I was like, oh, yeah, this makes sense. If you are already manic, if you already have psychosis, if you already have this, yeah, this isn't gonna help you. I'm like I didn't need an article to tell me that.
Yeah.
You mean the AI can't help you not be crazy? You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're still gonna like that's not the thing. We're talking about you can use it if you're having issues. If you're not already
Yeah.
like diagnosed with a disorder. We're not talking
Mm-hmm.
about people who are diagnosed with disorders. We're talking about people who are just walking the streets for quote unquote normal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
so I read
And
the
you may be
article.
pushing one way, you know.
Yeah. But so when I read the article, I'm like, like
Yeah,
that makes sense to me. And yeah, that's a problem because people will do that. The same people did it with chatbots before. So
Mm-hmm.
like this isn't a new thing. Like the LLM didn't make it. Like there were computer programs that would do this not very well and people would fall in love with them.
Yeah, there's
But-
movies about it.
Yes. But the interesting part to me is when you told your second story, I was right where you are. I'm like, that's the man keeping it down. Like I went, that's right where I went. So where you went with the article, that's where I went with your story. I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
that's
you're
hilarious.
telling me a whole room full of doctors is having meetings because their people are coming in and are like, no, I know what's going on.
Oh, I can see. I didn't even consider that.
I'm like, yeah,
so
no
then
shit you're worried
they
about
are,
that.
They are the man. Yeah, because they're like, oh, we don't charge for this. People are fixing themselves.
People are fixing themselves. How are we going to make money if they're coming in and being like, why do I need to come talk to you as a therapist if I can
that's hilarious.
just get my therapy? And then, of course, you're going to be like, well, no. It's actually really scary because you might start believing it's real.
Mm-hmm.
No,
What's the problem if you believe it's real?
I'm like, that's. I could see therapists doing that right away. And so when you told that story, I was like, yeah, that's the man. That's the man.
That's awesome. That's hilarious.
So I'm like totally the opposite.
Mm-hmm. Guess it's just where the news is coming from.
Well, and
That's what keeps it so level.
we had that issue. So when you have students who are like special needs, there's like all of these things you can do for them. There's all these protocols, and you've got to have all of these meetings, right?
Mm-hmm.
And 9 times out of 10, more if you're in a like inner city district or a rural district, right? But
Yeah.
I would say on average, 9 out of 10, parents have no clue. No clue of the process, no clue what they should ask. No, they listen to the experts and they're like, yep, sounds good, rubber stamp it, move on. Like,
Yeah.
right? Like that's kind of how it goes. What's happening now is people are walking in and saying, hey, so my kid has a reading disability. These are the things I want for them to help them.
Oh,
And they're
nice.
coming in preloaded, and like the experts are like it's not bad. Like they're
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, those are all good things, but it's weird to have the shift. Like they're like, this is uncomfortable because normally they're coming to me as the expert, and now they're
Yeah.
telling me as the expert what it should be because, and what they're doing is they're going to AI and they're saying, hey, can you write me an education plan for my kid? And the AI's
Yeah.
like, sure, and it should have these things. So then they come into the meeting and they're like, hey, ChatGPT said this should be my education plan.
Yeah. Because they can pinpoint it to their exact child. Like this is
Yes.
what's going on with my child.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. And it's awesome, but it also, like, I'm like looking at some of my people going, yeah, doesn't it make you feel kind of obsolete? Like, they can come in with that. And that used to
Well,
be your gig.
I guess though I get from the story that I heard, those doctors were saying it's going to be 10 to 15 more years before they need to start being concerned. At least it's on the radar.
The reason why for the silence and those on video could see our faces, the reason is you may have caught an episode a little while back where we talked about the book The Singularity is Nearer, which talks about that humans will start merging with machines in the next, I don't know, under 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Under 5 years. There's another report that just came out of a different singularity that is less than 10 years away, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's amusing to me that these, so in this case, doctors are like, yeah, we don't have to worry for like 5 to 10 years. Where there's another group of people that are like, in under 5 years, you're going to be smarter than your computer, and your computer is smarter than you because you guys are going to be connected and together.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm. I mean, just imagine. I have no idea how this would work, but if even just like the neurochip, like the people who want it, like we've talked about the things that it can do,
yeah.
but just imagine if it's picking up your thoughts and you start having self doubt, whatever, talking negative about yourself, and then there's a little voice in your head like, "Hey, why are you doing that?" They're almost like what we say. If you're feeling depressed or you're feeling anxious, think of something positive because they can't live in the same spot. You can't be thankful, grateful, and be anxious at the exact same time. If you have a computer chip in your head or wherever it's at, or even if it's in your phone, if it can connect with you, where it's
and,
like, hey, quit thinking like that.
and that's minor. Like, that's really
That's
minor.
minor.
That's super minor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could have that right now. Like, hey, I
Mm-hmm.
can judge from your blood pressure and pulse rate that you're getting anxious. Maybe you need to start thinking about this. Like, that's an
Yeah.
easy thing to do right now. What about the thing that
Yeah.
doesn't ever let you get anxious?
Yeah.
Like, hey, I noticed your levels are incorrect. I increased your serotonin levels by 5%.
Yeah.
So that you won't be
You
anxious.
should eat this for lunch.
Hey, by the way, I
It's
noticed
gonna
you're
give you everything
hangry.
you need. Yeah. Or I mean, even the so speaking of hangry, I just want a quick interruption here because I thought of your hangry shirt. I saw
Yes.
the new Lilo and Stitch today. It is amazing. My whole face was wet. There must have been under a leaky roof or something. I have no idea.
So
But it was
is it
amazing.
better having it like live, quote unquote?
I never saw the original.
Just useless.
I didn't. Okay, so to be fair, my ex-wife didn't like cartoons. And so the only like good Disney cartoons I would see is like if I was staying at a friend's when that movie was out.
Okay.
Like I saw Little Nemo a million times because I was staying with my friend Andrus. Netflix was early, so he had the Little Nemo DVD, and his daughter played it for the whole week I was there. So I'm very familiar with that one.
Mhm.
But some of
Familiar
those I just
enough that
missed.
you
I
know that
just-
it's Finding Nemo.
What did I say?
Little Nemo. Little Nemo.
See? So, but yeah, to go back to what we were talking about. I mean, imagine all the people too, where you would at least have an idea of what you really wanted to do. Like for you, obviously, you're an amazing teacher, and you would still take that route. But people who are like unsure or they do, and this is one thing that I have like books that I had started many years ago where it was talking about that. People, my philosophy was always like people did what their parents did. They were teachers. or like, a few other things, especially growing up in Michigan. A lot of people just went to the auto industry because that's all there was. But imagine those people who are like really know what they like their likes and dislikes, and inside like, oh, you would be amazing at this, and it's not anything that's ever on their radar.
Right. Yeah. It'll change things. Here's one that'll make you laugh. I don't think I told you this, but speaking of like those doctors, right? We're like, oh, we don't have anything to worry about in 5 to 10 years. I was working on making new policies for AI for my community and stuff, and for official documents, and like, hey, how do we let's make this intentional how we're going to handle this, right? And an elementary teacher at one point, we're like doing all this, and they're like, well, the nice thing is I'm never going to get, like, we're not going to get replaced by this. And I looked over, I'm like, what? And she's like, well, people who teach high school or, this or that, like, I can see where they'll get replaced. But, like, us who are giving kids hugs and, we're having to do all this stuff and, like, mothering, like, that's something that's probably not going to get replaced, like, soon at all. And I'm like, cool. I go, I just had a guy, and you told me this. I go, a guy was talking in a thing and said, your kids, some of them will marry an AI or an AI robot. And they're like, what? And I'm like, so you're telling me that AI could replace a spouse, but you can't be replaced as an elementary teacher? I go,
oh, so that person who was talking had said that? They were talking about how Gary had said that?
No, I said that to them.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, I just heard.
They agreed with you then.
No, they were like, what? And I'm
okay.
like, yeah, they're saying that within your kid's lifetime. So in the next 20 years, your kids, there will be people in that generation married to computers for like.
I was telling somebody that Gary Vee had said that, and they had said that's already happening. I forget which Asian country, one of the Asian countries, people are already marrying AIs.
Yeah. Well, and so the thing is that, and I tell people this all the time about so much, but I'm like, don't think you can't be replaced. You can be replaced. Like that's literally the way the species is designed. So there's no job out there, like whatever you're thinking, and I know some of you are, that's not the point. Like you don't live in fear of whatever because you could be replaced. You just do what you do, and you just keep doing what you do, and that's how the world runs. Like all the people are like, we're going to get replaced by automation in the car industry. Yeah. Like you can be, and that doesn't make your life less valuable.
Yeah.
Because you're not a cog, right? Like, do something
Could
else.
be a good thing. Yeah.
And
there's probably a lot of people on assembly lines who would love to draw and paint and do whatever.
Yes. And there's other opportunities, and so you just got to roll with it. But don't ever be so arrogant that you're like, I can't be replaced, right? And you can get serious and sad and deep too, right? Like you can be like, well, nobody could replace me as a dad. That happens, people. Like people die and they get replaced by a new dad, which is what you want. Like you want your kids to have a new dad who loves them and cares for them, and like we can be replaced. So it's very sad. It's sad, but it is also real.
It's sad.
Which is why you have to make the most of the moments that you're in, right? You gotta make the most of that. So.
And that goes back to, I think we've talked about it before, just do the thing.
Do the thing. Do the thing.
Did you see my post today about let's make mistakes? I got that from Gary. Because someone was like, oh, I'm 20. I forget how old they were, 26, whatever. They felt like they were going to make a mistake and they weren't sure what to do. And Gary's like, I can't count how many mistakes I've ever made. Like millions of mistakes. But you learn and you go, and especially at that young of age, like I think they were unsure about their job.
Like it,
so
well, and it's dumb because if you think of anybody who you think is amazing at their craft, so I don't know, let's pick somebody that people would recognize, like LeBron James. And you're like, oh my gosh, LeBron James is so amazing. He's missed more shots than he's taken. Like, he
Mhm.
makes a mistake more than he does it right. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Pick your favorite baseball player.
Yeah.
They
For
miss the
baseball, you're in the
ball.
world. You're in the Hall of Fame if you're doing 1 out of 3.
If you're doing 1 out of 3, that means you're making 2 mistakes for every one right, and we put you in the Hall of Fame because you're so freaking amazing. So why do
Uh-huh.
people think in their lives that it should be
Yeah.
0 mistakes?
Yeah. And those are people getting paid millions and millions of
To
dollars,
do
whether you
that
like it or
exact
not.
thing. To do that
Mm-hmm.
exact thing.
To do the thing.
Yeah. They're paid millions of dollars to hit a ball, and they miss the ball 2 out of 3 times.
Yep. Or hit it badly, or just whatever.
Or whatever it is.
The other person is much better at pitching than they are at hitting.
Yes, yes. And that pitcher makes mistakes all the time. Oh my gosh, I
Mm-hmm.
threw so many balls. Yeah, probably.
Uh-huh. Oh my gosh, I saw a video. I don't know. It must have been lower league. I think the guy almost got hit. He was really mad. He almost got hit, jumped out of the way, kicked the catcher in the chest, and then he ran out to the pitcher. He was trying to get him, but of course, the bench is cleared after that and stuff. Just seemed very angry, like an angry person.
Because he almost got hit.
Yeah.
See, the guy missed him. The guy made a mistake.
The other guy missed him. He should have hit him right in the hip. He couldn't have run out there so fast.
Right? He could not have. Oh, I wanted to let you know, I can't remember really which Jordan book was the one that I thought was bad.
Okay.
But I
Winters?
did just read number 10. And I remember thinking it was number 10 or number 11.
Mm-hmm.
And I read number 10, and when I say that they're bad, I was thinking I need to be specific. It's bad for that series.
Okay.
Like, it's still better than lots and lots of books that I've read.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the winter one, right?
Yeah, I just did Crossroads of Twilight, and the next one is Knife
Okay.
of Dreams.
Okay.
And they're still going pretty good. But, like, Crossroads of Twilight, the story probably didn't advance more than, like, a week or so. Maybe a month.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
like, and I remember thinking on the one I didn't like, it only advanced 4 days.
Yeah.
And it was
Jamie
when,
knows that exact how many days, but yeah, it's less than a week for sure.
and so that's why I'm thinking it's the next one, because I was thinking it was when Perrin had to get Fail back. And so I'm like,
Okay.
he doesn't have her back yet, so I'm like, maybe it's the next one when he gets her back.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, Matt, we just had games this last week, and Matt was going. He was sad that they wasn't renewing, and we were talking about that a bit. And he's like, I'm thinking about starting the books because he loved the story, and I was like, well, they're amazing, but they did take some. What is it?
Liberties?
Whatever. Liberties. That's the word I'm looking for. So yeah, I'm like, some things are different. Did you finish it, by the way?
No. Ava was home.
Ava hasn't been around.
She was home, and I was like on Saturday, she was going back. And I was like, hey, do you want to watch this? And she was like, I got this to do and this to do. I'm like, you don't have to. I go, Jared's just going to keep being sad that you haven't finished watching
Yeah.
it.
There's only one thing that I want to talk about, and it was when it happened, I was super irritated.
Oh, man. Well, hopefully soon. I don't know when, because this is her first weekend where she won't be coming home.
Oh man! I won't ask next week then.
You can ask.
Oh! So it's getting closer. It's getting closer to be official. I got my ring in today.
Ooh, look at that.
So it's from Patrick Adar Designs. I'll make a post on it and I'll take a picture and everything. But yeah, Gina and I went through. I'd seen his stuff before. I don't know how it got on my radar, but I always thought the stuff was really cool. And we were starting to talk about me getting a wedding ring. So I was like, you know what? I'd really like to find something through this website. I think they do cool stuff. And we kind of went through and whittled it down. So yeah. And
Nice.
she has the white gold, so the white around it, and then the black. So yeah, I'm super happy.
Nice. It looks pretty
came in today.
amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, who knows? Who knows if it'll be this year or next year or tomorrow? I don't know.
She probably wants you to put that on right now because she's tired of women hitting on you all the time.
Do they?
I
I
don't
didn't
know.
realize I ever got hit on.
How many women come over to the warehouse?
I think I saw someone drive by the light the other day.
Nice.
They
Well,
kind of looked at me in the car.
that's perfect. Well, listeners, it's been great. Hopefully you've been catching our shorts. There's been lots of shorts out there. Right, we had the 999 challenge shorts.
That was a good one. You seemed a little tipsy.
I don't know if I was too tipsy, but I was a little bit. Somebody said, "Is that like how you probably haven't done that since college?" I'm like, "I've never done that." I'm like,
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
I'm like, "Why
That's
would
true.
I?"
Like, no.
I'm like, drinking that many drinks, period, is weird. I don't drink that much water, so
Like, you have to really try to drink that many drinks. You have to be on a mission.
you got me on mission. Now, the sad part is, I was thinking about it though, and I probably do drink like that many ounces worth of like Coke. When they used to have those super sizes, remember the super size?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Well, we'd get the double gulps when we worked the overnights.
Yes.
I would. You'd have to stay awake.
Right, and then you drink all those. So
Yep. It adds up.
it does. So
That's hilarious.
but yeah, that was fun. It was a good time. I can eat a lot of meat. I'll tell you that. I can eat a lot of meat.
Mm-hmm. Good meat eater.
Yep. And now I'll have to fast. Not really, but you know, let it all get out of my intestines.
Yeah. You got a lot of dogs pushed in there.
A lot of dogs are pushed in there. So, anyway,
that's
listeners, we want to thank you for joining us again. We hope you got something out of the episode. We hope you keep moving on and keep doing things and value yourself. And let us know if you have any comments or questions. Shoot us something on Twitter or in our Discord or in the comments section on YouTube or Spotify. We'll get back with you. So,
Yeah.
anyway, this is Ballbuster signing off.
Filter Dragon Jerry, love you all.